West Ham Unofficial. I hope
Well, Jake, you right?
Are we there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, there we go. Let's start again. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. Burton Albion are the hosts as West Ham hit the trip up north on Saturday, and I have a fantastic, hopefully, panel of guests that are trying to join me this evening. Sam and Gary are here. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah,
Jolly
good, thanks, mate.
Jolly good. Mike, are you all right? Can you hear me?
I got you, mate. I got you now.
Jolly good. Well, the good news is we've got this to work. The bad news is I have the jokes on my phone, and I'm using my phone.
Oh
no!
What a shame.
I know.
I'm gutted now, mate.
Because for some reason, the laptop is deciding not to work this evening. So the jokes are on my phone and I'm on my phone. So do you reckon you'll be able to cope without the jokes tonight?
I think that's a certainty from my side.
It'd be tough, but we'll give it a go.
I'm sure the chat will come up with some good jokes for you to tell.
Absolutely. Let's rely on them. So a very good evening to you all. This has not gone to plan, but let's hope that West Ham go to plan on Saturday as we head to Burton Albion. Fourth round of the FA Cup. We're on telly at 12:15. They're setting it up for the giant killing. And Gary, how do you see us going in it?
It depends what sort of side Nuno puts out. I think he's going to weaken the team, obviously. Probably rest Fernandez, maybe rest Castellanos. Who knows? But we should. At the end of the day, it's Burton. They're bottom four of the League One. We should beat them, regardless of what side we get out.
Exactly. I mean, Sam, we saw them at Reading at the start of the year, and they didn't look great. And I don't think they've won since. So, not a fantastic side, but the FA Cup can throw up anything.
It can, and I think that they pushed someone close at the weekend. I think they were leading until quite late on. From memory, that might have been the weekend before. But I don't think they've necessarily been playing badly. I think they just haven't been getting results. But yeah, this is a team at the bottom of League One. They're struggling. Them staying in League One is their priority. It's not this game. I think they'll make changes as well as we do. But I'm expecting wholesale changes from Nuno. I think he's going to go quite big on this one. The first game we didn't see that many. I think it's going to be sort of 8-9. I think.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of QPR game that got us through to this point, Mike, it was a pivotal time because we just forgotten how to win football matches, and it was key that we won that game to know how to win, to know how it feels to win again. And this time it does feel different, doesn't it?
It does. The QPR game, you're right, probably kicked us off into this decent run that we're on. But I've seen us come unstuck against so many lower league teams over the years. Yeah. It's never a shock to me. Let's face it, it took a bit of brilliance from Declan Rice to get us through against Kidderminster,
Oh, I'd forgotten that game from my memory.
Yeah, but mate, it's a game we ought to go there and win. I think he should go reasonably strong. There's players that have got to get minutes, definitely, and he's going to bring a few that have been on the bench and give them a start, and then keep a few up his sleeve. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean the predicament we're in, Gary, is there isn't actually that many players to bring off the bench to bring on because of how restrictive we cut the squad in January. There's a few there on the bench, fine, but apart from them, we're then looking at youngsters, and whether he goes down the road of youngsters, we'll have to wait and see. But we don't want all our momentum to just be killed in this game and make 11 changes and then do what we did against Oxford a couple of years ago and whatever and lose and then it kills our momentum a little bit. So it's crucial we win, but it's also crucial the right players get a rest.
Yeah, I agree. I think the key to our success, in my opinion, recently has been our work rate and our commitment. And if we show those on Saturday, we will win the game, regardless of the 11 we pick. So we just need to show the same commitment, the same work rate. Don't take it, as it's a one game beforehand, and just work for the team. Then we'll be okay.
Absolutely. See, through the powers of technology, I do not have my jokes on my phone, but I still have my laptop. So you'll be glad to know that I have managed to multitask. Yes, I'm a man and I have just multitasked, and I have found some jokes. So are we ready, gentlemen? Yep. Jolly good. Right then, Gary, I got a new pen that can write underwater. It can write other words too.
I thought you had a joke then.
That was the joke. It was a very good one as well. Come back later on for more jokes. We just lost viewers whilst I did that, but I won't take it I won't take it. I won't take it personally. You know, keep going and all that. But yeah, in terms of changes, Sam, you mentioned sort of 8 or 9 there, and I'm racking my brains and thinking who's going to come in. He's confirmed Areola's going to start in goal, so that's one change from what we saw against Man United on Tuesday evening. There will be changes, but it's just how widespread and how seriously Nuno takes Burton.
I hadn't even put Areola in as one of mine. I thought he might stick with Hermanson, but I think we'll see Areola. I think both the left and right backs will change. He likes goals, we know that, and it seems like a good game to bring Walker Peters in. I thought Wan-Bissaka looked tired in the second half against Man United. I think we'll see Maxi Kilman.
No, surely not. Surely
but
not.
I just think with it's probably the last opportunity we've got to try and get him some confidence. I can't see us starting players like Somerville and Bowen, because we have to have them fit for the last 10, 12, 13 games, whatever it is that are left of the season, especially with this news that Pablo's out for, and I don't know with Nuno how long he's going to be out for. So I think we might see sort of wholesale changes to the defence midfield, maybe only Zasi starting, who started the last 2 games, and then ultimately up front we've got 2 strikers, and at least one of them's got to play. So
do you think
I think he might go quite big in terms of the changes and then bring players on.
Do you think the Venezuelan lad might start?
Yeah, I think Venezuelan lad. Things like a good game for Traore.
Yeah. I mean, Nuno confirmed at his press conference today that Areola will start. He was then asked about Traore, and he said maybe they haven't made their decision yet. So yeah, we'll come to the Pablo news in just a second. But Mike, you mentioned that Kidderminster game, and it could be a similar sort of approach where hopefully it doesn't get to this point. But that day, the big guns had to come on to get it over the line. But I'm thinking a similar sort of lineup with those changes could be made. But we need to be blissfully aware that FA Cup upset, 12:15 on the telly. They're setting it up nicely, as they did against Kidderminster a few years ago. And as is commented here, it wasn't so long ago when the Wolves of Wimbledon knocked us out, beating us 4-0. And I think Oxford beat us 4-0 as well, didn't they? We've had a couple of teams beat us convincingly. And then all you've got to do is present yourself. Macclesfield and Crystal Palace just a few weeks ago. So cup upsets can happen. We've got to do our very best to try and nullify the home crowd and, sort of calm it down early, I think.
Yeah, I'd keep the middle of the park quite strong. We're talking about resting Somerville and Bowen, and they definitely need a rest. But I know Fernandez, had a bit of a knock. Maybe rest him, but still play like Souček and Magassa and Potts, in the middle. Still got quite a strong midfield 3 then. He's got to play Traore and probably the young lad out wide, and then keep the rest up his sleeve, but go fairly strong. You can't take these teams too lightly, as Jake's just pointed out, what happened to Crystal Palace. We should still beat them, there's no doubt about it. And yes, Gary said it also, that what's got us going again has been, the fact that we've rolled our sleeves up and we've put the effort in, and we've got to keep doing that in this game. Otherwise, we will come unstuck.
Absolutely. And people are starting to put their memories of losing in the cup now. I remember losing at Torquay when Macari was manager.
Yeah.
It was a little bit before my time, but of course we've lost plenty.
Newport County.
Yeah, 1979. 1998. 98. We lost out to Wrexham in 97.
Wrexham's always one I think of. I always think of them as being our bogey team.
Yeah, and the year after we played a side called Emily Jake at home, we beat them in the last minute.
Yeah, remember that.
There we go.
That's
Dinosaurs, honestly, I can't even remember last year.
Farnborough, we need a replay back in the day.
Farnborough, we had to go to a second game. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So we've seen it all when you were at Dolls. But I think the only thing I'm a bit worried about, the Kidderminster game, if you remember, it's a Diop play because he needed confidence and he was shocking that day. Absolutely shocking.
Max Kilman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. For Diop v Kilman.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, we'll come on to who we'd start and team selection in just a second. But first, we know what it's all time for. This is a good one. Right, Mike, are you ready?
Always.
I was going to try an all-almond diet, but that's just nuts. Oh, do they get better? They just get better and better. Honestly, you've got to laugh at some of them, guys, because otherwise it makes it pretty,
You know, we're not laughing, Jake, because we're not 5 years old.
Yeah, but somebody who comes on this show, somebody who is part of the preview panel, bought me a joke book, right? And they may or may not be here this evening. They bought me a joke book, and most of these jokes have been coming out of this book that was purchased for me by somebody that may or may not be on this screen right now.
I think that
Does anyone want to
person was hoping
confess?
that the joke quality might have been slightly better than what they are normally.
There we go. So Sam just confessed to buying me a joke book, and they've got worse. I thought my jokes were better before I used a joke book, arguably, but
Go back to the Christmas crackers, Jake.
The big news that has come out today is regarding Pablo, and it wasn't good what Nuno said. The tone of it and what he said didn't seem too positive. Of course, he liked to keep his cards relatively close to his chest. However, when he said, we don't know, we don't have a return date, and he could be out for some time, leaving us with Wilson and Tati, this is what it feels like, Sam, could be the beginning of an unravelling in terms of injuries. We've been very lucky this season, very, very lucky with very few injuries. But this has not come at a good time, has it?
No, but I think the first I saw of it was the reports that were coming out of all the West Ham news sources. And I thought the headlines and what they were saying sounded awful. And then you read the quote actually directly from Nuno, and I don't think it sounds as bad as how they're painting it. He said they don't really know what's wrong. They don't know how long it's going to be. But look, the guy hasn't got a broken leg. He's not got. We know it. We know it's nothing like extreme. Otherwise, they'd know what it is. I think Nuno is one of these managers that likes to play a bit of a trick and whatever. Look, he's not going to play at the weekend. Fine. He might not play against Bournemouth. Probably fine. And that buys us a few weeks to try and get him back into some sort of fitness and whatever. I don't think we saw him go off with any sort of proper injury-looking thing. So it probably just is a bit of fatigue, bit of muscle, something. And hopefully,
hopefully,
as bad as the West Ham media anyway are sort of painting it at the moment.
Hopefully it's a bit of smoke and mirrors in that sense, because I mean he didn't look right from the moment he came on against Burnley, and I was there, and and he hobbled about a little bit in between sort of plays, and I thought that's not right. And then he sort of hobbled off towards the end, and of course then it came out that he's injured. So it could be pretty bad. It could be a couple of weeks, Mike, and let's hope that we don't go into an injury crisis, because I mean Spurs have got about 11 players at the moment. If we had 11 players out, it'd be me and you in the back line, Mike, because there is nobody else.
Yeah, we would be down to bare bones, mate, wouldn't we? I mean, they even said, have they, as it's like an ankle, a knee, a muscle, a groin. They've not said anything, have they? A strain, a kick. So they're keeping their cards pretty close to their chest, obviously. But yeah, all we hope is that it's not too long. If it's 3 or 4 games, and one of them's a cup game, it won't be too bad. But we're just all surmising at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm now going to cross over to Gary for his widely extensive knowledge of Burton Albion. Gary, over to you.
He used to be manager of Nigel Clough. End of. That's what I know about them.
So they are 21st in League One currently. They have not had a good time of it. Drew away at Port Vale last time out. I feel like Larry here. I just need to put on an accent. But they're not the best. We know that. And Sam, we saw them a few weeks ago, and they didn't look anything special. But as we said, the FA Cup can throw up anything. Obviously, when you go away to a lower league side in the FA Cup, the first objective is to silence the crowd and get the game under control, and that's got to be Nuno's message from the start.
Yeah, I think it actually starts on the bus on the way up, and it's about that attitude. And there was a game when we went down under Roda where the players, I think we played Rotherham, and the players refused to get changed in the changing rooms.
I was there.
And you've just got to have the right attitude, and I think it starts on the bus. It starts before the game, and like, you are not bigger than Burton Albion and whatever their grounds or fans or facilities look like. But yeah, I think we've got to start fast, like we have the last, pretty much since the QPR game, and we sort of turn things around. Got to start fast, got to try and get, as you said, that early goal, silence that crowd. There's going to be quite a few West Ham fans up there as well, and they're going to be in good voice. I think if we can get that, if we get that sorted, then yeah, we're in the great shout.
Absolutely. Gary, have you just opened a joke book there? What are you?
I'm trying to see what the capacity of the ground is at Burton.
6,900, is it? Something like that.
Yeah, 6,500. So what?
Mike knows it off the top of his head. Gary's got a book. Look at that. But hang on, let's have a look at that book again. Sorry. Let's have a look at that book.
It's a little Sky Sports thing on my desk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was a massive book.
Oh, what's our allocation then? We get 10%, do we?
I think it was about 1,800 there going, I think.
Well, I think we got, 17 or 1,800, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. So that's not too bad. So it should be set up then.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Apparently there were some seats left in the home end, but
is it?
Yeah,
apparently
there was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Nigel will be up there as our West Ham unofficial contingent at the game. Unfortunately, I'm not for obvious reasons, but it's the only game I'm missing in February. So just everyone relax. It's okay. One game. Are you going to
tell everyone what the obvious reason is?
The obvious reason is that I'm engaged that day. No, I'm not. Sorry, no, that's probably the wrong word to use.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
It's going to go down on one knee.
You heard it here first. No, that as soon as that left my mouth, I knew it was a mistake. I have alternative plans, which may or may not have been my decision. Of course, it was my decision. Where else would I mean, what would be more romantic than Burton Albion at a 12:15 kickoff on a Saturday in the rain? It doesn't get much better, really, does it? But,
you could have been home for the evening.
Yes.
Sorry? You could have been home for the evening. Do the restaurant there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But you win some, you lose some, don't you, Gary? As you well know.
I tend to lose most of mine, to be fair.
There we go. Let's go on to some predictions, shall we? Gary, let's start with you.
Burton Albion 0, West Ham United 3.
Sam?
That's what I was going to have. I'm going to go 4-0.
Right. I think Mike is slightly more conservative, not by political opinions, but purely by score prediction-based observations. I think Mike thinks we're going to win. I think Mike thinks it's going to be a little bit closer than the other two predictions. And I'm going to predict Burton Albion 0, West Ham United 2. 2-1 or 2-0?
I'm going to go 3-1.
Oh, there we go. 3-1. 3-1. So look at across the board positive predictions. So we have all completely cursed it by going with that. And so come 2:15 when I'm ranting and raving on air, when we've lost 1-0 with a Kilman own goal, then we're all to blame. But just pushing it forward, and it's a big if we do win on Saturday, of course, the Bournemouth game the weekend after is the bigger game. If I offered to you now, would you either win the Burton game or the Bournemouth game? I think you'd all probably say the Bournemouth game in this current situation, despite the baggage that would come with losing to Burton. But how important is it to win to keep this momentum going and push it on to that must-win game next Saturday, Gary? When you look at Forest and their ropey run at the moment,
It's obviously very, very, very important that we keep the run going. Like I said, if we show the same level of commitment and energy, we will win comfortably. The danger is if we sit back and do like Palace did at Maxwell and take it for granted and just knock it around and say, look at us, we play in the Premier League, then we'll lose.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think by now, Sam, that Premier League clubs would be aware and alert to the dangers of these cup competitions. But every year there's a cup upset, and the biggest one ever happened this year at Macclesfield, as Gary's just mentioned. So, of course, we need to be alert and aware, but also with one eye looking at that Bournemouth game, which is monumental next weekend.
We've got to protect the really key players: Fernandes, Bowen, Somerville, Tati. Like those players that they just aren't replacements for, probably at any club, really. So we've got to protect them. I think that there's a disadvantage for the teams now that are in sort of League One about getting upsets, because our under 21s, 23s, whatever they are, play them regularly now in the under 23 cup and bits and pieces. So they're playing the teams at this sort of level, and therefore the scout network and whatever are going to be out of these sorts of teams and things. So I think it's more difficult for a League One side now to get an upset. That's absolutely, swallow my words, on Saturday afternoon territory. But I think that our B team should be good enough to beat a team like Burton Albion that's struggling at the bottom of League One. But I think it's about that mix of players and, as you say, keeping that momentum going, because we've got some massive games, especially with Forest and Tottenham seemingly in total crisis.
They're panicking. I love it. It makes me laugh so much. Oh, let's take the manager.
I sent the stat to Sam earlier that Nottingham Forest have, and they've had more managers than home wins this season, which probably sums up the state of that once great and fantastic football club, which is just going into complete disarray. But anyway, that's that's something for another day. Mike, what would be your message if you were Nuno after the run we've been on, how positive we've been? What would be your message to the players before they go out on Saturday?
Well, I think it's important to keep the run going, keep the confidence going in the team, because that's what is there now. I mean, we got there by working hard and getting together as a unit and playing much better football. There's no doubt about it. But you keep that same attitude of working hard, and the organisation stays the same. You've got to win that. We've got to win this game. It's so important to keep the momentum going. If we lose this game, then and doubts start coming back in again. But if we win it 2-0 or whatever, you say, right, that's it. Keep the momentum going. And also, what he's saying, he's probably going to start people that haven't been starting recently, and he's got to say to them boys, if you want to get in this starting 11, get out there today and show me you're good enough.
Exactly. Look at this here. Valentine's Day is all about going to watch live sport and treating your loved one to a day out. As he says, going to watch rugby for free. Which would be very true, Sam. Come on. Predictions 2-0. They're very good. I now don't know how to get rid of that comment. There we go. 3-1 to West Ham. Look at the positivity coming in here. 4-1 West Ham. It's getting better and better. So plenty of confidence in the chat, which is good. Let's see if Nuno can break Burton down as they will sit back home and hit us on the counter attack. And listen, every sort of trick in the book is going to come out, and we've got to be ready for it. And teams like Palace haven't been this season, so we've got to be ready for it. But that is our match preview for the FA Cup game coming up this weekend. And before we go, it's time for one more joke, because I don't think you've had quite enough. And this is the best of the lot, Sam. Right? This is the best of the lot today. Doesn't say much. From the book. It's not from the book. None of them are from the book tonight because the book's in Wembley, because it wasn't room in the bag. But anyway, so today I was at the bank, right? An old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
That's cool.
It's quite funny. Of course,
you were definitely not at the bank taking money out, though, were you, Jake?
No. I don't even go to the bank. But yeah, I wouldn't have been taking money out, that's for sure, unless it was from someone else's account, which I don't have the privilege of doing. But yes, I do not. I do not condone anybody going and pushing any old ladies over near the bank if they're thinking of doing that tomorrow, purely for joke-based purposes right here on West Ham Unofficial. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. After we've overcame our technical problems this evening, I'm going to go for a swim in Pool Harbour, whatever it's called, lake thing, thingamajiggy. Gary, to be fair, it would have been quicker to come to your house because you've got better Wi-Fi than there is here. So I should have just come to your house.
You should have done. Anytime, mate. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, to the mansion, to Gary's mansion. He's got security guards outside.
And dogs now.
And dogs, yeah, indeed. But Mike, Gary, Sam, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Cheers.
No
No
worries.
problem, mate. Enjoyed it as normal.
And this will be the last time we all speak before Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, gentlemen. Thank you for everything that you do for us here on West Ham Unofficial. I hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day, all three of you.
Do my best, mate. Do my best.
Yeah, just another day.
Just another day, Mike, honestly.
Me and Mike have seen a lot of
Mike's
them
getting
with our current ladies. So there's only so many times you can reinvent the wheel, you know.
current ladies. I hope Mrs. Whitehead isn't watching. Current ladies. I could never speak with such uncertainty.
I was saying to Tracy today, Jay, it's 30 years we've been together, which is a mere day compared to Mike and Jackie. What's that, 45 or something like that?
44, yeah.
44, see?
44.
You can't think of that.
Mike, you've been together for over double my lifetime.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've got a few medals for that, but she probably deserves more than I do, to be honest.
Yeah, my age as well.
There we are. Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new. A build-up show has been thrown into doubt by the technical problems that we've had this evening. So there may be a build-up show on Saturday morning. There may not. So check out for that. But there'll be uploaded content along the way. And then we start building up to that massive Bournemouth game next weekend. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, everybody, for watching at home. And there's only one thing left to say. I've only got one arm, so I'm the one doing it this time. So come on, you irons. Cheers, come on, you guys. I mean, we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.